ride with me for a minute, man. We finna talk some real stuff, man. Just hop on in. Put your seatbelt on.
Some say a UFO, just life outside is out. Okay, it beat going apes, so you know this on bananas. They say I went commercial, some try to change the channel.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Life Outside Atlanta podcast. And you know, your boy been fishing, and we got the reels bent.
Oh yeah.
All four bent, you hear me? Yeah, float done went under, goddammit.
I ain't lying.
But and today,
yeah,
got another great episode. Got a treat for y'all and finna jump right into it. Check this out right here. I want to say, matter of fact, let me put y'all on game. I want to say it was a dude from Africa, man, Nigeria or something. He over here questioning, the legit foundation of Black Americans and what we stand for. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know what's going on, but we ain't from no motherfucking Africa, man. We right here on this land. We from this land right here, man. Foundation of Black Americans, man. Built their whole all this shit, man. But check this out.
And then they come over here talking about, well, why y'all not doing good? Well, why y'all not doing this, that, and the other? Because we got tethers on our backs. White ones, foreigners, all of y'all. Tethering, sucking our blood. Y'all ain't doing nothing on your own. You name one thing that this white man has done on his own. All he do is take our tax money and give it to y'all sorry asses. So don't get on here talking, and he want to get on here and ask a question.
BTT, so why is it that...
Shut up, nigga, I'm talking. You get your behind over here, get up out of the bed, laying up there with your... y'all get on my nerves. Then you try to talk about Black women. The reason why, if that is, I wish I knew the stats. Because if that is true what you saying, little old moist nigga, it's because that's how the white man set it up. He elevated the Black woman. He took her man out the home. So she has to now be the man. So if she's acting like a man, it's because, just shut up. It's because he did it. Don't you tell me nothing about what's going on over here when your raggedy ass country over there where y'all don't take care of your women or your children. I seen a damn video where they got a board over a ditch with some water in it. You niggas won't even build your woman a bridge. She was trying to walk across that damn board with her babies and some food and fell over in the damn water.
Damn bit, dog.
So you don't talk over here. None of you tethers open your musty mouths and talk about nothing that's going on over here.
Yeah, see, that African-American word was a psyop, man. It was used to undermine foundation of Black Americans and who we are and what we stand for. That's why it's hard to get reparations, man. Because if you look at who in office is somebody from a different descent, a different lineage. They ain't the same as us. They usually from Caribbean or African somewhere. So every time, Foundation of Black Americans speak on reparations, you got some black face that stands up and say we don't need it. But when you check the background, look at that nigga forehead, he ain't one of us, man. Where you from, bit dog?
In the Seminole War, which was a war of Black maroons and former slaves and Black indigenous working with some of the red indigenous people. That's what the Seminoles were. The Seminoles were a ethnogenesis Native American group. It was an ethnogenesis. It was Black indigenous, Black runaways, Black maroons getting together with some Creek Indians, and that's what became the Seminoles. Seminole is an amalgamation of the word runaway in Spanish, I think.
Say it again, American Maroon, man. Go check that movie out ASAP now. Yeah, what you waiting on, man? Let me guess. Y'all more concerned about who snitching in Atlanta and all that shit. Man, nobody give a damn about that, man. It's life outside Atlanta over here, bit dog. Yeah, nobody care about no young thug. No, man. Learn about your people, man, and your history. Yeah, that warrior class running all through my bloodline.
And if you saw my movie American Maroon, I broke this down great. And by the way, I don't promote that movie enough. Y'all do need to watch American Maroon, American-Maroon.com. American-Maroon. It's a phenomenal movie. But the Seminole War was happening down in Florida. The military arm of that war were the Black Seminoles, Brother John Horse and some of them riders. They were beating the brakes off the U.S. government. They were beating the brakes off the white people in Florida. They were burning down plantations all over Florida. The U.S. government was going down there trying to contain them. The U.S. government was losing a lot of money because they were killing so many white military people. And they kept sending different generals down there, and them generals kept getting their asses handed to them.
Hold on.
Yeah, they was out there whooping them folk feet, boy.
They were getting their ass tore up. Wiley Thompson, he was a famous general. They shot his ass. General Dade, which is what Dade County is named after, they massacred his ass. And that's what Dade County is named after. Them Seminoles shot damn near all of his men and then chopped their asses up. They made cracker McNuggets out their asses.
Yeah, with white rice.
They were getting tore up down there. They kept sending different generals down there to Florida. And a lot of them didn't want to accept that it was black people whooping on them like that. They're like, nah, blacks, nah, it can't be. But then they sent General Jessup down there. They sent one guy because they kept getting whooped on, and General Jessup went down there and he sent intel back to the U.S. government and kept it real. He said, listen, this ain't no Indian war. This is not it. This is why we're getting our asses whooped. This is a Negro war. We're fighting Negroes. These are Negroes beating the brakes off of us. We gotta change our whole shit. They ain't got nothing to lose. They're not like these Indians. They're coming with it. They're bringing it to our ass.
Yeah, damn sure is. Yeah, you talking about?
Because they ain't trying to go back into slavery. They ain't trying to get sold into slavery. They ain't with none of that shit. So they're fighting to the death. You understand? So they had to keep it real. They literally called it the Negro War. There's a great book called The Negro that breaks all this down. So they had to come in and negotiate. They said, we can't fight these. They know too much. They know how to get up in these swamps. Come on now. Yeah, the red natives don't know how to work them swamps like these maroons. See, we were showing them, the black indigenous and the black maroons were showing the red natives how to work the swamps, you see. So yeah, we were doing guerrilla warfare tactics on them, and they're like, we can't beat these niggas. They ambush the shit out of us and then go hide up in a tree somewhere. We can't catch these niggas. You know, they had to keep it a buck. They're like, yeah, they hit us and then disappear and we can't find them. You know? They revolutionized warfare down there in Florida. So they had to make a deal. They're like, yes, come on, listen. Y'all niggas sit down. Y'all want to go to Oklahoma somewhere. Y'all just leave. Can you leave Florida? All right, let's call it a truce and just get y'all asses out of Florida. How about that? And that's what they did. They would all sent them all to Oklahoma. They had to keep it real. Yeah. Hey, they had to put the ego aside and say, look, we'll just say nobody won and y'all just go to Oklahoma and stop whooping our ass. Can you do that? Sometimes you just got to keep it real. The U.S. government, they had to keep it real. They're like, we'll lie later. But yeah, even then they had to lie. They said, hey, don't let the newspaper, don't tell the public that we got black people whooping our asses in Florida. They know, if you say that, if you put that in the newspaper, we're going to charge you with sedition if you do that. They were threatening the press. You couldn't even admit that the Seminole War was about black people whooping ass. Yeah. So they had to admit when they were at a disadvantage. They had to put their ego aside and admit, and we're going to keep losing until we acknowledge that. See, once they acknowledged that they were in a powerless position, then they were able to get them Seminoles, the black Seminoles up out of there, and then the U.S. government were able to take over Florida like they wanted to take over Florida. You see? So we got to be the same way when dealing with these white supremacists. We got to understand that they can do certain things. They can, within their system, if we're in their system, they got little tactics that they can do. I'm white and I say so. The criminalization tactic. They can label us as criminals for anything. A lot of us say, well, I'm not going to commit no crime. I'm not going to do anything. But again, they can reach back into their old Jim Crow bag and criminalize you for anything. I give an example. Shannon Sharp. people kind of wagged their finger at Shannon Sharp. All he's doing is banging some little skanky white woman. That's all he was doing. And then they criminalized that.
Yep, and there's a bunch of them getting ran
He's
through.
just banging some skanky white woman, which was clearly consensual. That woman was begging for when you gonna put some big black babies in this white cootie cat? I'm like, God damn. White woman begging for dick. Then all of a sudden, you know what? I might not say so. It was rape.
Oh, yeah, man. Be careful out there, young man. I never forget. Heard an old lady say, man, be careful about laying down with bitches. You might wake up with fleas. But check this out. Moving right along.
When black folks got hemmed up, I want y'all to understand, man, we knew how to ride for each other. Man, there was in the 1800s, you know, Detroit was a free state. A lot of people would escape and go to Detroit. And there was a situation where a black couple escaped slavery and went up to Detroit. So some white slave catchers caught them and put them in jail. The black folks up in Detroit, they broke their asses out and started whooping on the white folks up there. And then got the black couple and helped them escape up to Canada for safety. But yeah, we didn't play that shit back in the day.
Yeah, and still don't.
They just don't tell you that stuff. We didn't let black folks get hemmed up. The Seminole War with John Horse and those guys, they would get revenge. If you heard a black Seminole, they would get revenge on your ass. In my movie American Maroon, where we talked about this, a black woman got kidnapped by the U.S. Army. They called a truce with the Seminoles because the Seminoles was whooping their ass down in Florida. So they wanted to have a truce. So they went to the truce and the parlay, and then they pulled guns on folks and they kidnapped this black woman named Morning Dew. That was Osceola's wife. They kidnapped her. So, man, the Seminoles tracked down the army generals, went to his crib and blew his damn head off. They went to that crib and popped his ass. He stepped outside for a cigarette and they lit him and that cigarette. They lit the cigarette and his ass up. And then at the same time, they went and killed Dade, General Dade and all of his men. They killed all of them. That's what Dade County is named after. They killed them and chopped their damn bodies up and left one alive. And they left one eyewitness. He went and said, hey, them niggas is crazy. There's a bunch of niggas went and chopped us up.
Yeah, don't y'all come back around this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, we didn't mess around like that. We didn't mess around like that over here, man. They don't like to tell you about that part of history.
Hey, look, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. You trying to go fishing with your boy.